Have you ever had ice cream directly from the tub? All fun, enjoyable, and sweet, until you have the second last scoop and you realize all that fun is about to come to an end. Well, that's where we are in the series. Second last episode of celebrating 14 beautiful stories, 14 beautiful couples celebrating one love. And not to say our goodbye so early in the series, but I hope everyone who has been watching can experience the same kind of love. Love that is kind, pure, patient, love that is not boastful, envious, or proud. And may you continuously experience love with the people in your lives and people you are still yet to meet. I hope you enjoy the second last scoop of celebrating love with Ramina Creatives.
Hello everybody, my name is Ntsiki and you are?
Mpaki Elephant.
Yeah, so this is my husband Mpaki and we've been married for 7 years, well 8 years this year. Jeez, where has time gone? Anyway, so we just wanted to share our story. We've been invited to share about our love and our journey in marriage as well. And we met in 2007. Guys, to put this into context, that was 12 years ago.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Jeez, I feel old. Anyway, so we met 2007. I was doing first year at UCT, and my husband was doing his, university, fourth or third. You don't know, but yeah,
Don't
then.
ask. I'm in line for graduation.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so we met, it was during orientation. So he was an orientation leader, and I met him because he was the lab assistant at the lab. So I'd forgotten my diary in the lab, and I get to res, and I'm like, where's my diary? And and as I was looking, I remembered, I was in the lab, and I quickly took a shuttle, went up to upper campus, and I found this guy, and the guy was reading my diary. I'm like, dude, it's not a thing, But I think that's how we met.
But
you can explain.
Yeah, I'll give my version afterwards. Okay.
Yes, and we became friends for about, I'd say 3 years. And then we officially started dating, if you would call it, in 2010. That's when, literally within a few weeks, I was introduced to the pastors. And of course, we knew that we wanted to get married. And yeah, the rest is history. Your version?
But so during that orientation time, those that know or have been at UCT, it's normally a busy time, and you would have shuttles that are coming from either Rochester going through Lower Campus or Leesby Garden. I remember one of those days I was going to Upper Campus because Student Christian Fellowship, they were having those stalls. There's normally those stalls that are happening
during all week.
During all week, and
okay.
And I was coming with the shuttle from, I think, Rochester, and I remember you were seated in one of those shelters in Lower Campus, and there were a lot of people. It's amazing enough, because there was a lot of people, but somehow there was a mental picture that just stuck with me, I think since it was your first day, you were waiting, and normally during the shuttles come full, and from
the other races, yeah.
Yes, and hours just passed, and you were there, you were seated there with your bag, and then life continued. I didn't.
But you saw this lady.
I saw. I saw her, and
Did you sleep that night?
I slept.
Oh wow!
Because with how big UCT is, you never think that you will ever meet this person again. So, one evening I was working the graveyard shift in the computer lab as a lab assistant, because I was an orientation leader as well as a lab assistant. And I remember, because when you normally come in, you do your checks, and I bumped into your diary. Normally items people leave. That time we had those, I think, stiffy disc or even USB.
Oh my, was that long ago?
Yes, so we would collect them and just put them in the office. You know, Daddy was there, and during that time we still had those Vodacom free SMS.
Yeah, I think
that
the youngsters would know.
would remember. So you had the MTN and the Vodacom free SMSs. You go online, and then I don't know how many.
We were sending free SMSs, y'all. Like
Yes.
free SMSs. How hectic is that?
So I saw your number, and then I SMS'd your number, and then to let you know, because it was already in the evening around 8, if I'm not mistaken. So I said, your diary is here in Upper Campus in such a place. You can come and fetch it. And interestingly enough, you had already spotted that you didn't have it. You had
I actually got the SMS when I got into the lab.
Yeah.
So I saw the SMS and I'm like, oh, so this person must be here somewhere, because I could see that it's from the free website. Hey, cheesecakes.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, but during that time, I was just paging through your diary.
Through?
I mean, it's
or reading.
Okay, I was reading.
Hey, now the confession comes out.
So, but it was interesting. You know, because it was the first time and I'm reading people's diary. I was like, this person is actually being personal in the diary. It's like, okay, ma'am, I think what Matt was that?
Baby, should we go into details?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
So it was Matt. Matt was challenging
I was just
her.
sharing my heart in my diary, like everybody else.
Okay. Math and computer science, and I happened that in that year I was a tutor for computer science 1. I think I was doing, if not second, I was doing third year in computer science. So I was a tutor for that. And I said, I can assist you if you do need some assistance. And then we talked.
After going through my secrets.
Yeah, we talk. It's now around 9:30. And somehow the conversation is like, the conversation is like, 9:30 is still early on campus. And if you live on campus, it's still very early. 9:30, the conversation is just flowing.
Oh, guys, and we found out that we're both Christians. So that was like hectic. And we just started sharing the word. And it was so amazing.
Yeah. And then I walked you to your...
Sorry, I just got too eager there. But it was exciting.
To the... what you
The
call this
shuttle.
RW James stop, the first stop
Dude,
on
you still
Upper
remember?
Campus, you know, and so that way I walked you and we agreed that we would meet and assist you, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess the hook was already there. It's like, okay, it's the second time I'm meeting him, so hint, you know. From the lady that I saw in lower campus to the lady that I'm speaking now, it's like, wow, okay, I didn't think that I would meet you. And then after that, I think we chatted, we conversed, I think we met at fellowship.
That's it.
Yes, and by that time I was not that very much involved in the fellowship. One of those, if you've been in, you normally occupy the back seat, you know.
You regard yourself as an elder. Counting the youngsters at the front.
Yes.
Anyway, so we do believe that the way we met, really, it reflects just divine. You know the scripture where David says, you order the steps of the righteous man are ordered by the Lord. And I think for us, it was very evident. I don't think had I left or had I not missed my diary, I don't think I would have met my husband. And it's one of those things you see in movies and you're like, geez, it happens in real life, and it really just shows how God is so intertwined, and it's just, he's so part of our every move, you know. It was really a godly hookup. Yeah,
but then we didn't date then, you know.
Yes,
I think
we were friends, yeah.
Friendship just, I think organically just built. I think on, was it your second or your third year? That's when we were official. But during, I think, school holidays, those days they were still mixed. So we kept the conversation.
We used to mix it up.
We kept the conversation
Guys,
going.
We are old.
Yeah.
I wonder if people will relate to the stuff.
Yeah. So cool, no go. So we kept it going, and then we lost contact. We lost contact, and then somehow I bumped into you during my graduation day.
Yes.
You were doing summer school. She was doing summer school.
And I was on campus and I met his mom and a family friend they were with. So it was very nice. And yeah.
I think my eyes were open wider then that I'm leaving and I haven't secured anything.
Hey, Kosiam! Then the Lord spoke.
I think the gents will understand. The guys. So yeah, I needed to cement myself.
Yeah. Mark your territory.
Yeah, I needed to do that. I think she was very active in, and ladies in ministry and who are active, they have a lot of eyes on them, because they are
tough.
Yes, there are people who are at the forefront of student fellowship, and I thought, no, I need to cement myself before I leave to the working world, and then after that, I think we continued. I think now first year into working, that's when we officially, first year into working, and that's when we officially started dating.
17. So I met this guy when I was just a teenager. Yes. And he's been part of my life. You were there when I celebrated my 21st. You were there when I started working. You were there when I learned how to drive. You were there when I
have to tell this story.
You taught me how to drive, guys, but hey,
one time, so I gave her my car. We were still in Cape Town during this time, and I went back home. So I'm from KZN, Pietermaritzburg to be more specific. She said no, she will drive. She wanted to be mobile,
Lord have mercy.
And I did all that I needed to do, and when I came back, she was excited. She welcomed me at the airport, right? And then I think, was it the day after or 2 days after, where somehow she needed to confess that something happened, because obviously when you come back, you haven't seen your car, you do some just inspection,
minor checks,
are the doors still closing, Yes. And then she says to me, "Ish, love, something happened."
So you gotta understand, I just got my license, and here I was given a car, guys, like a full car. Hey, I was there driving around with my friends, enjoying. One time I'm trying to park just on the side. I scratched the car. Then now Muga is coming back. I'm thinking, hey man, how am I gonna say this? But the Lord is gracious.
No, and you tell the one that like
yes, that's the one. Yes. I was trying to come in.
Trying to come in at her home.
Yeah.
And she came in with the gate, But then she went to a panel beater. They sorted it out.
Yeah, I had to cover my tracks,
Yeah. By the time I went in, it was like, what happened? It's like, no, nothing is showing. I can breathe. Yeah. So she was 17 when I actually met her. I think I'm lucky. I count my blessings. 17 years old.
You are not too old yourself, my friend.
Yeah, I still had it. I still had the fire in me.
I wonder what kind of fire. Yeah.
So yeah, we've been together for 12 years now. Yeah.
But officially married, I think.
Officially married.
Going for 8 now.
Going for 8 years. So.
Yeah. How old were you?
Sure.
Do you want to divulge to the Republic?
Do I even remember?
Chief, you're old enough.
Yeah.
To make decisions.
I
don't know. Why are you asking me?
I cannot remember, guys.
Hey, Chief. Okay, but we've got a 6-year gap. So I guess you guys can do the maths at home. Get all your calculators out and let's do the math.
Yes, 6-year gap in between us.
Yeah.
So where did we have our first date?
Hey, Chief, we're African. These things of first dates, and also a Christian. Back then, Christian people, I don't know. And
was it not at Upper Campus and sweet and sour chicken noodles right there by the science? I'm kidding. I don't know.
That was it. I would say what I remember vividly is that after he had introduced me to the pastors, we had a celebratory dinner thing. Remember, he took me to that pizza place in Ronnebosch.
It's been a lot of dinners.
But we had a lot of dates at Signal Hill for ice cream.
Okay.
And that's fair enough.
But first, I honestly cannot remember. I cannot.
Now you're blowing your cover on romance, my friend.
I cannot remember because we used to also have like ice cream at what's that place? Greenpoint. Is there a place like that in Cape Town?
Camps Bay, isn't it?
No, Greenpoint. There is Greenpoint.
There is Greenpoint, but we used to go to Camps Bay.
Camps Bay.
Or Signal Hill.
Okay.
For ice cream.
Ice cream was on Sundays though.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had a full routine. So and this is the reason why. So on Thursdays I had worship team. On Fridays I had SEF. So I could only see him on Saturday.
No, on Saturday
or Sunday.
I had rehearsal at church.
Yes, so
Praise
he was
worship.
in the worship team as well.
Yes, rehearsal.
So we could only meet on Sundays like for a full time, and then during the week he would drop by because Umugai was working, and he would come by with the car and stuff. So, and I was staying in Forest Hill, so it was nice to just see him during the week. And of course, I didn't know how much petrol was, so I would demand for him to come. And only now I found out, but it used to chow him. Hey guys, you work for love, eh? You work for love. Anyway.
So yeah, I to be honest, I cannot remember the first date because
that's strange.
It's
Sure. Okay.
I'm sorry about that, but there were many.
No, don't be sorry, baby. It's not like you did anything wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
So I personally don't believe in the concept of the one, and I never did, and here's the reason why. And it's my theory gets, I guess, proven over the years as I grow. I used to just feel like whichever guy I want to commit to, of course, after having done due diligence like prayer and just, seeking the Lord and speaking to God about it. And once you get the go ahead, I just felt like if any guy comes to me and commits, and I sense in my spirit that it's the right move, I take it, And it was like that with him. I never felt like, and God never said, this one is the one, like have like dream or, no, it really wasn't. It was just a question of when I finally commit to this guy, this will be it. And I was just prepared for that. And here's the reason why I said yes. So when my husband came to me, because remember we're friends. So when he said, listen, I'm growing old and I'm starting to think about marriage a lot. I don't see myself marrying anyone but you. For me, that was like, no. So okay, he doesn't want to play. He knows his story, and I've always been someone like that. I always was attracted to people who know what they want, and attracted to people who are just resolute, who are spot on in terms of decision making and who know exactly where they're going and what they want. And for me, that was a big tick. Of course, over and above the fact that he's a believer and we believe in the same things, we are both driven, we are both servants of God and all those kind of things. And also we're career driven, and above all those things, it was just his resolution to say, listen, I don't know what you're going to say, but me, I'm talking marriage. I'm not even talking like a dating or a relationship. So for me, that was like, whew, look at this fine man asking me out.
Yeah, I think it was evident, though, that you and I, or if I were to get into any marriage, dating relationship, it would have to be a Christian marriage. That I had resolved even prior meeting her. And it was...
So you wanted a sister fire?
Hey! Yeah, and God gave me one.
Oh, wow!
Tell it a little download.
Sure.
So I was set on that. I knew it. I knew the circle of people that I would look at. They have to be believers.
What did you type?
Yes.
Yes, when I guy.
They have to be Christian. We have to believe the same thing.
Definitely.
So that in itself was a huge plus. When did I know that we are going to get married? Like, I assume it's like that final thing that every guy would want to have, that sense of peace. I think leading, because we had been friends, how our conversation used to develop, what we used to talk about, what we used to joke about, our own life experiences, that somehow our life started to be fused to each other.
Yes. So we're very good friends.
Yes.
And we still are.
Yeah, we're good friends with. I honestly, in that, like, I had no ulterior motive. It's like someone that you meet, you fellowship together on campus, and like any other person that you would keep relationship or conversation going.
I must confess though, babe, for me it was like, yo, Mpaki is such a nice guy. He has a girl. Oh yeah, to marry would be very happy, because I could observe the kind of person you are. I loved the attributes and just the characters. You're a humble guy. You're very quiet, very reserved, but yet very resolute and very set in what you want. And for me, that was like, yo, this guy, you're not perfect, don't get me wrong, but I was just like, wow, and little did I know that heaven had me in mind. Oh yeah.
external things of what also attracted me was that she was a servant of the Lord. Adversity, she just stood out. She stood out, and I loved it. Somehow it became something that attracted me to her.
Very anointing is attractive. So you never know.
There are many things that attract people to their life partners. That to me was one of it. It was quite strong to me, And then even when I made the proposal, I knew what I was looking for. I didn't. After I made the proposal, she wanted to go pray about it. She said, "Let's pray about it." And
guy was like, there's nothing I'm gonna pray about. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, it's a done deal. So you go pray and then you tell me what you think. Confidence, guy.
I didn't know what to pray about. It's like,
I look at it now, I'm like, actually, I like that about you. That you didn't pretend. Because it would have been another guy who'd be like, oh yeah, let's pray about. But deep down you're gonna pray. You know what I mean?
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
sorry.
It has already settled in me, and I loved you, and I was at peace with that, and that's why I wasted no time to introduce you to my parents, spiritual parents that I held close to me, my friends, my extended family. We're in Cape Town. I didn't have my physical family there, So any person that you love and you commit to, you want to introduce them into your extended.
The sooner the better. Really, there's no need to wait for too long. Tell them about the story you said about the car. Where we were pushing the car. Apparently that was the light bulb moment for the guy.
So we attending. I think we can share. So yes, we attending one Sunday evening. We attending it was a youth service. Yes,
we're invited in this other church
in the outskirts of Cape Town, a Khayelitsha. So, her pastor friend was invited. Was invited, and my car was not a new car, to be honest. When and everything like that, the service ends. I need to start the car now. Like, everybody's excited because they had given her an opportunity to greet. And oh God, she took the service to another level.
The word of God.
It went, everybody was so blessed, and the car wouldn't start. you know, she was on her heels and stilettos, you know, all looking like
churchy.
You know, yeah, all looking gospel, you know.
Come on.
So,
Check girl.
yeah, I'm there. I'm like, Lord, I'm being very.
Hey,
Angel, Gabriel, where are you right now? You know, she was like, what's happening? I'm like, the car doesn't start. You know, I mean, people are walking out of the gates. There we are in a parking lot. She was like, okay, let's push the car. I'm like, what you mean? It's like, no, let's kickstart the car. It's like, what you mean? She took out her heels. She got behind. She called Loguzana.
My friend. Don't mention it.
Oh yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
guys.
So she called her friend, and then they started pushing the car. I mean, like, not in my wildest dream have I thought someone I would meet at UCT. Like, I mean, like, I looked at it as like, of her caliber, she would take out her heels and push the car for me to kickstart the car. I was like, Lord, what manner of woman is this, as they would say.
Come on, somebody.
Yes.
So I think for me, and when he says the story, I remember the day, but it wasn't a big deal for me because I was like, okay, here's a car, we need to go, so let's push the car. And being the hands-on person that I am, took off my heels. I was like, okay, babe, start the car, let's do this, you know. And for him, it was like a big deal. Like, oh my gosh, this woman, literally, she can go anywhere I can go, and she can carry me as I am. I didn't need to have it all figured out. And for him, he tells me now that, baby, that day I went to home and I was like, this is gonna be my wife.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so funny because now, even when we go through issues together, it's he has that expectation that I've got you and you've got me, you know, and that has always been our relationship from early on, you know, and it stems from the friendship really, because he's my friend, you know, more than anything. So yeah,
I know that you won't leave me. I mean, it's because I've seen, like, when couples, the car break down. I mean, like, the lady will be on the passenger seat and like, what's up? And then the guy would just be stressed alone, you know. But just to see you being so hands-on, I was like, wow, this is my ride or die person here.
Especially that stage. I mean, you're all about impressing this person,
yes,
you know? And now the impression just goes.
You know, I was on my white shirt, you know, looking all gospel-y, you know, with my pastor shoes, you know. So yeah. Oh, what my love language. I love it because I get the opportunity to define it. Normally, I would be asked, what's her love language? And I was like, I remember it was, but over the years, obviously, maybe other things have taken to be high priority. My love language, act of service. I love it. I think for me that tops.
I know when they walked in, so I was asking, what would you guys like to drink? Yes. And then I was giving them with the tray, and it was kind of like, and I come from a family where, yes, we have manners, but some of these things are kind of just get lost, you know, especially our generation. But I realized that for my husband, it's not even a cultural thing, it's a love thing. I never serve him without a tray. I always make sure that I serve him. He doesn't get served by anybody else. Not because we have to, but that's how he is, you know. I make sure when he comes from work, well, when we were still working from the office, I'm home, I've cooked, you know, everything is ready. And I realized that, you know, it's not about me subjecting myself. And I think that's what a lot of young people think, where, I can't be that wife who's gonna be. Yeah, I am. I'm a career woman. And he respects me. I do it out of love because I realize that it's a way to his heart. It's his love language. He loves to be served. And he serves as well. And that's the thing about it, is that he serves. My husband will never give you water just, you know, he will use a tray, and I've learned that from him, and I realized that it touches his heart when I do it. So I do it with so much love in my heart, even though sometimes I buy takeaways and just, you know, put them in a plate and serve with the heart and with the love. No?
Yes. Yes, what's your love language?
Guys, my love language My love language, guys, is, what do they call it? What do they call it? I want the word. Quality time.
Oh,
like
yes.
Conversation. Like, this is what we do. Sometimes we don't even on the TV for
I have
days.
to tell you this, like, so she's an evening person, I'm a morning person. Oh my goodness. At 10 at night, like, love, let's talk. At that time, I am out. She wants to converse. It's her strongest point. So she's more productive from, when you, at 9 going all the way, it's to her strength. At that point, I'm like, I'm ready just to
switch the lights off.
To switch the light off. So you and quality time,
Yeah, so I love it when we're just sitting at home. As a result, we don't do a lot of outdoorsy things. So we do them because I'm also adventurous, which is weird. But we like chilling at home, play board games and read and just sit and talk. How do you feel? I'm that woman. Like, how do you feel today? How's your day? I'm that girl. And Shemo, poor guy, has to tell the story of what happened during the day. And I think over the years, you've kind of mastered that and you're becoming better at it, and I love it. Oh, and also I love affection. Yes. So being married to a Zulu guy, hey, holding hands, hey, you force the guy. Like, hey, give me this hand, man. Let me take it. So it doesn't come naturally. We try. But, hey, guys, it's a lot of work. But I think you've gotten better, babe. Let me give you the props in front of the Republic.
Yeah.
You're doing much better. The other day, you grabbed my hand. Look at you.
Where was it? Was it at the mall?
It was at the mall. Last week, actually, yeah.
Last week.
So there I was like a puppy.
Yeah. I would say.
Yeah, I would say me, guys.
Yes.
If I was the head of the family, I don't think we would have the house. I don't think we would have the cars because my money would just be going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just we are both givers, and that's what I've realized over the years. So we would come from church and my husband would say, I was thinking of so and so, and the Lord dropped this in my heart. I'm like, go for it, But I think I'm more of a victim to giving because I just love people, and sometimes when someone tells me their problem, the first thing I think of, how do I solve it? Even if it means it costs me, in the process. So he has taught me to be wise in loving. He has taught me love goes with wisdom. Love is not foolish, and he is the reason why we are able to have some of the things that we have, because otherwise, if we were, according to me, I'll be sleeping under the bridge and everyone would be, because for me, it's like, I don't want the things of this world. Let's just, you get a car, you get a house.
Everybody gets a house.
And I'm out here thinking, oh shucks, I don't have money for petrol tomorrow to go to work, So he instills that discipline in me to put the family first in the process, to consider other things that are also as important. Yeah.
Yeah, you give, you're the highest giver, in the family. I need an occasion. Yeah, it's either an anniversary, it's a birthday.
The people.
Okay. Yeah, like it's not because I was in a good mood.
Yes.
Are we into gifting each other?
Yes.
Most definitely.
For those occasions.
Yes, for there has to be an occasion. I mean, like, we are.
Can't just.
Yeah, we are into giving to each other. I think the last gift, memorable gift that I gave her, and it was her birthday last year. Because it was locked down, it was a bit of a difficult one to organize a birthday celebration. But how it eventually all came together, it was quite good, quite emotional when I saw tears of joy trickling down her face. It was good. It was this. It was a sport watch. So she did have one, but she had an older model of the running watch. She needed to strap for a heart rate here and then a foot pod in it. And over the years, like, it was getting washed, and then it wasn't working. And then she was stressed that she's not collecting the necessary vitality points.
Love, really? In front of the people?
Taking it out. So, yeah.
These are family secrets.
So I was like, okay, I think let me get it for her, So the morning, I brought up breakfast, and then at least I was the first one to give her a gift, which was, I was happy. And then she opened it. It's like I forced her to open. It's like, open it. It's like she's still going through all her messages on her phone and people calling in. It's like, we're heading to church that day.
No, we're going for the photo shoot.
For the photo shoot, yes. She's like, no, I'll open it later on. I was like, no, you've got to open it now.
Because
I didn't want my gift to be drowned by all the other gifts that were coming through, And she opened it. Oh my goodness, the smile in her face. How,
as you can see,
happy she was, Yes.
Yeah. I think gifts are a beautiful way in which we can celebrate each other and show love, big or small, it really doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts, as they always say, You think that is the biggest gift you've bought me? Yes, I was excited and thank you. But remember when I came back from a work trip and you had bought me pajamas and you had a welcome back home balloon. Hey, Umugai had gone all out. There were flowers. It was fancy because I had gone for work somewhere and for 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember, in East Africa. So I came back, Umugai, yay, he's gone all out. And he cooks for me also as a gift. So I think gifts are a beautiful way in which, even God showed his love through a gift of Christ. It's such a powerful and effective way in which we can share love.
And significance as well.
Demonstrate love. Because love is not just talks, right? Love is actions, and part of that it's giving. And what has been my greatest gift I've given you? Do you think? I always make it a point that I go all out, guys, and I spend a lot of money. I'd be surprised if he doesn't remember.
No, I would do. Number one. There's so many, but let me pick two.
Okay, cool. Top two.
And
at second places?
At second place, she bought me a camera.
Yeah!
Like, woo, I love it.
Technically, I got him a camera so that you take pictures of me.
Oh, God.
But let us not go there.
Yes.
I'm joking. I bought the camera for him.
Yes.
I realized he loves photography and I decided to buy him a camera. It ends there.
Yes. And then you bought me those nice noise suppression earphones. Oh, I love them. The sound that comes out of those, it's like you don't hear anything around you. Only you focus on what's coming out of those earphones, like headsets.
Very expensive gifts, Chief.
Oh, yeah, top two. Yo,
nothing.
Yes, what are some of the biggest arguments? I think it's communication. I think I'm a poor communicator, to be honest. I'm funny enough.
You have improved over the years.
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Although my job role requires me to communicate with clarity.
At work.
You
know. When you get home, you're like, how
somehow,
do you do this again?
Yeah, I always feel like I'm underprepared when we come to family conversation, you know. And she always has to tell me, as long as we agree, you have to communicate, don't assume. And that, I think for me, it's one of the significant things that any relationship, whether you are in marriage or you are in a committed relationship, communication, it either makes or it either breaks or stalls the progress or the development of the relationship.
Very true. And I'll tell a quick story. So last week we were in KZN, in Maritzburg. So we took a walk outside the house. So we're walking in the streets and then there was a car coming. So I'm on his right hand side. So the car is coming and it's coming at a high speed. So I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for him to tell me, are we going to go fast crossover or are we going to just step back and allow the car to move? So he's like, we're coming on your side. I'm like, which side is that? Is that going back or is that going forward? So he's like, we're coming on your side, love. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking we're coming on your side, which means let's take a step back. He's like, no, I'm saying we're coming on your side, like, let's cross over.
Yeah.
So you actually get to realize the communication can be easily missed. And we were laughing about it, like, dude, I didn't know what coming on your side means. So
to paint the picture, like as we are seated, the car is coming behind us, and knowing Lokshin roads, they're like not big for two cars, you know, so we're walking on the road, not even on the pavement, you know. And then I hold her hand and I said, we're coming on your side. That means for me it made sense that I'm coming to my right.
So we're crossing over. And my thought is, let's just take a step back and allow the car to move. So we were there like a confused sponge. But anyway,
after that she's like, communicate, to give clear direction, you know.
And she's like, no, but I said we're coming on your side. I'm like, no, but coming on your side means, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, communication. So it's all silly things sometimes, and I think, yeah, we barely argue, I would say. Yeah, I mean, after 8 years of staying with someone, over time you kind of learn, you know, what's happening, and you kind of fuse your lives together. You know, I remember when we got married, we used to argue. So my husband is like a neat freak, as you guys can see. Everything must be in a certain way, in a certain, you know, and for me, I'm just like, but this is my house. If I want to leave my shoes there, I can leave them. And he's like, no, you don't leave your shoes there. Like, you don't leave your shoes there. And I'm like, no, I want to leave my socks on the bed. He's like, no, but you must leave the bed like nicely done and stuff. So it's those little things, but over time, my cleanliness kind of, you know, took a sharp 10, you know, my tidiness, and I think he's also learned to kind of compromise here and there. You know, that we can leave our laptops like this. I think if it was my back then husband, we pack our laptops away and, you know, leave the. So yeah, it's those little things, and of course when we're deciding on what to order if we go out. Yeah.
Okay, we have to. I have to share this, guys. I have to confess this one. Like, somehow in my mind as a man, we leave the house. I tell her, woman, we're going to such and such a place, right? It's no new place. Whatever restaurant that you as a couple you go to, sometimes it's a familiar place, you know. So in my mind, there's a set order that I would order. Make up your mind from now until we get by the window, you know. And then when we get by the window, can I have X, Y, and Z, you know? And then what would you like to order? Like, do you have like A, B? But don't put much of B. Can you put a bit of like?
Maybe it sounds wrong when you put it like that.
It's you had the whole time to figure out, and in, oh my goodness, it's like love.
When we put it in terms of A's and B's, it sounds wrong. But yeah, I can explain. Yeah, no, so it's just those little things, but I think over time you get to understand each other. And sometimes I'm like, just choose for me, because now I'm like, hey, I'm confused now. I've been wanting everything on the store, you know, so yeah.
The one habit that you have that I don't understand. You go first, woman's first.
Oh first. Wow! Now that we're in hotspot, I think for me, baby, I must be honest. I still don't understand why you sometimes don't get back to people when they call you. Like, you know, my husband. Let me explain something about this guy.
Can you explain?
No, let me explain for the people. So, my husband, you would call him, ne? And then he would miss your call. Like any other human being in the world, like in the entire planet of Earth. All you do, you see, okay, Ntsiki had called. Let me just touch base with them and find out why they called. Not this guy. This guy's gonna be like, if they really wanted me, they're gonna call me back. Chief, call the people. No, if they wanted me, they're gonna call me back. Chief, call the people until I take the phone. And sometimes it's like family and it's like urgent things, you know. I'm like, hey, Benizotini, or whatever the case. And they're like, oh no, we needed this and that. And I'm like, see, you needed to call them, So I don't know, baby. Explain. Why? What happens with you when that occasion occurs?
Yeah, maybe when I see the third missed call, it's like, okay, somebody's leg is
Dying.
broken.
You're like, somebody's dying somewhere, let's go save them.
Yes, only then it's like, okay, maybe it's serious. If it's one missed call, it's like, I don't know, maybe a phone dialed in error, it was in someone's pocket, So maybe the logic is flawed that I use. I'm happy to.
But I must say though, babe, what I do appreciate is that you don't do that to me. So, which is...
You are the entire government.
Headquarters.
So yeah, well, the habit that I don't understand, oh my goodness. So I come from a family that wakes up early. Guys, early. Our early, around 5:30, 6, 7, My wife, nothing bad, but she comes from the opposite side, They can wake up at like 11:45,
I mean, guys, I can explain. If you had dinner, you cleaned, you go to bed. Why must you wait? Like,
what is
that?
Like, why?
What is the blankets are eating me? Like, why?
But over the years, she's because we're about changing people, right?
Marriage thing.
Yeah, over the years she has changed. She has changed. I see her like embracing being the early bird, like 7:30, she's awake. By that time she doesn't understand why I wake up like at 6:30. Even
guys, even on the weekend.
Even
like,
on the weekend,
why?
We don't have a concept that at weekend you need to sleep until late, till like 11. That doesn't exist in my world. But I've learned to embrace it. I leave her, I leave her to sleep. I go do my things in the morning. By the time she wakes up, finished. It's still.
But you did say I've improved.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You've improved most definitely.
Just putting it out there to the people.
Yes, we have to put that disclaimer there.
That's a beautiful question.
What do I like the most about my partner? She's
I'm ready.
I sometimes think that to people that have a close relationship to you, with you somehow carry most of them like emotionally. They find it as a very relatable person that they can share their personal life. But just beyond that, I think you are a good-hearted person. Very important to be in a relationship with a good-hearted person. Like the heart, the kindness. The person must have empathy. The person you must know that this person has feelings. When people come and share their stories, this person would be able to relate. You don't want to be in a relationship with a person with a cold heart, who always second guess other people's intentions, like they're out to get us.
I like what you're saying, babe, because when you are with somebody, like my husband also has a very good heart. Even when you fight, there's certain things that can't be said.
Yeah.
There's certain language that can't be used, because you are not perfect.
Yeah.
Not to say
we would have disagreement.
But the most heated conversation is us saying, baby, let's talk about it tomorrow. That's as most heated as it can get, because of the kindness, and it's really a choice. But thank you for
because
highlighting that about me.
Even in conflict, because conflict exists, conflict will be there, and you want, when you are in conflict, that kind-heartedness must always surface up. You don't refrain from calling your partner baby, pet names, whatever pet name that your you call your partner. You know, you don't start calling them by the government name, you know, and any other names that are not there. And one of the things that somehow we have adopted is, even when we have conflict, you know, words, there's certain words that you won't find in our vocab. Words like, you always do this, you know, and you know, you always do this. I always remind you, this is you, you know. Those, they don't help in building a relationship, you know. And that kind-heartedness, it always has to surface up above all the conflict, you know. So I was fortunate to find that person, you know. That kind-heartedness, it's very important, because that's what you live with on a day-to-day basis.
Which is strange you say that, because kindness goes hand in hand with humility. And I think that's what I love about you. You know, my husband is very humble. And his humility, it's not the kind of I'm humble kind of humility. You know, those people are like, I know, I'm humble. And then we know you are not, because humble people don't say they are humble. So he's very, very humble. My husband has achieved a lot of things, and not a lot. Sometimes we're like, hey, Chief, tell the umbrella you've got, you know. He never even, and this is where I love it. You are confident. You are not insecure. You are confident, and yet you are very humble, which is a very nice balance in a man, because most men are egoistic by nature, and so it takes a lot for a man to be humble. And I think it makes me submit even easier to you, because I look at you and I'm like, such a humble guy. What's there to rebel against? What's there to question? You know? And yeah, it's one of the attributes that when I look at you, I thank God 10 times. Because I'm like, wow, Lord, you really loved me. And I will tell a quick story. One time we used to host a home cell here at home. And so one of our home cell members was one of the older ladies at church. So this one time she came early for home cell, and my husband hadn't arrived from work. So I was busy just preparing for home cell and all of that. And then she says to me, Ntsiki, I need to talk to you. So I come and I sit down. You know how old ladies are. Tell me, how is it that Mpaki is married with you? You are very blessed. I'm like, Chief, what do you mean? She's like, because you're out here bubbly and you are this person and you are married to such a humble guy, such a quiet guy. He's like, you know, I've never seen someone so gentle, a man so gentle and so kind and so humble. And I was laughing. I'm like, hey, Chief, the grace, what else can you say? And really, I think it's those things when people make such comments, because it's not just me who sees it. Of course, because I'm your wife, I'm going to be like, he's humble. But what if other people can see it? And when they do, it's like, wow, God, thank you. I'm so blessed, you know, because I know that even in the future, I'm in the hands of a humble man, you know. Humble when you didn't have anything, and you're humble when you had pretty much everything. And that's a blessing.
Who is always late? Who is funnier?
Oh, quite bad. Yeah, and the thing about you is that you are funny, but you don't laugh at your own jokes.
And who's the best cook?
Yes, my husband cooks really well.
Who's more stubborn?
Wow.
Who falls asleep first?
Who falls asleep first? Oh yeah, nice. Yes. Sorry, I forgot. Yes.
Who said I love you first?
Can it? When? Okay. I can't remember. I know, I always say it.
No, we did.